Hello, this is Catherine again, and we're learning about how to use your Metro student email. In this lesson, we'll learn how to create an email and send it, and we'll also show you how to attach files if you need to do that.
These are the steps to create and send a new email. It looks like a lot of different steps, and it is the first few times you do it, but it'll get easier with time, I promise. Soon you'll be able to do it without even thinking about it. If you're originating a new email and not replying to an email someone else had already sent you, you would click that New Mail button at the top left of your browser window under the Office 365. You'll need to address the email, and please note that email addresses need to be exactly correct. They can't be close or sort of. You'll want to enter a subject in your email. Of course, you put in your message, whatever words you would say to the person, maybe in a postal mail or whatever, and you will attach files if need be. You should sign the message if you're emailing someone for the first time, especially if they won't be able to tell who you are by your email address itself. And then when you're all finished and everything looks good to you, you can go ahead and hit send, and your message will go off to its destination. Do note that you can save an email as a draft if you are in the middle of writing it and something comes up. You need more time to think about it, or you have to run to class, or you get called away. You can save it and work on it again later. This is what the new email form looks like. Again, from the top left of your browser window under the Office 365, you'll see a command for new email. Go ahead and click that, and it'll bring up this form. You've got your to area, your to line to add your main addressee, your CC for your carbon copy, courtesy copy, your informational copy people. The subject of the email goes here. Again, you do want to make sure you put in a subject. And the text of your email will go down here. We've cut off the email window a little bit so we have room for more information. Now do notice that you have your main commands right across the top of the form. When you're ready, you can send the email. If you've just changed your mind and you don't want to send it after all, go ahead and discard it. That will delete it for you. When you go to add in any type of attachment or a signature, you need to click Insert. And then we've got several other options under this ellipsis menu, which we'll talk about later.
Okay, this is sort of a silly example that we're doing here, pretending to send an email to the president and also to the governor of Nebraska, and we put in a subject that says my taxes are too high. We're not really going to send this, it's just an example. Again, the addresses need to be exact. Notice that there aren't any spaces in an email address. Even if somebody's terrible handwriting makes it look as though there are spaces, there won't be a space in an email. At this point, again, we filled in the address, the main addressee. We've added a courtesy copy or a carbon copy to the governor. That's totally optional. We've put in a subject and a nice respectful note to the president, and signed it, I am broke. Again, this is a joke email. We're not really going to send it. Now, if we were actually going to send it, we would go ahead and click this send icon up here, and that would make the email go off where it needs to go. However, since this is just an example, we're not really planning to send it. We go ahead and click discard to get rid of it.
Here's a more realistic example of an email. This is an example where the student, Holly, is sending an email to Catherine, that's her instructor, that's me. And when you begin entering an email address, you may actually see the person's name pop up as opposed to their email address, and that's what's happened in this case. What that means, if the name pops up and gives you a chance to click the name and select it, that means that the person's already in your address book or your contacts. And you can learn more about that if you check out the links on my page, cbidolf.com. That'll lead you to some Microsoft information that'll help you learn more about how to use your contacts list and that sort of thing. But again, she's addressed it to me, carbon copied herself just to, do a little sanity check, make sure that the email gets back to her. It didn't get hung up in the drafts folder or in the outbox. She's put in a nice, informative subject and a little message, and she signed it. Now you can tell by the message that Holly is actually intending to send an attachment along with the email. She hasn't done that yet, so she wouldn't click send just yet. She's going to want to click the insert and begin attaching the file. We'll see how that goes in just a minute.
Now we talked about that ellipsis menu, and here's what's in there. If you need to do the draft thing, if you're halfway through writing an email and you suddenly realize you have to run to class, or you get called away, the phone rings or whatever, your cat jumps up and spills something, you can go in here and save. That'll save your draft email into your drafts folder, and it won't go anywhere until you come back and work on it. If you do want to show the blind carbon copy, you can turn that on from here, and we won't. There are other options. I'll leave it to you if you care to explore those. Feel free. Now, inserting or attaching a file. This is very intimidating to most new email users, but it really isn't as difficult as it looks. It does take a few steps. Practice, keep sending. You can send stuff to yourself, send stuff to your friends, send stuff to your instructors, and you practice it a few times. Pretty soon you'll be able to do it without, you'll wonder what you thought was so difficult after a while. Um, Now, depending, you might see instead of insert attachment, you might see something like insert picture or insert document. That seems to depend on where you're logged into the Office 365 from. You know, but in any case, if you click on one of those links, hopefully you can figure out what you need to do, and we'll walk you through how to do it from the insert attachment. This is the dialog box that will pop up after you've clicked the command to go ahead and insert an attachment. And if you look up here in the title bar, I mean, sometimes when things start popping up, it can be a little confusing, but Windows is usually trying to help you out. So if you go ahead and read the title bar, it's saying choose file to upload. So in other words, the program knows, the email knows that you want to attach something. It needs you to identify exactly what it is you want to attach or upload. Now, by default, Windows is going to go ahead and look in your libraries and probably in your documents folders under the libraries. For our purposes, in the Work 0900, we keep things on the flash drive, so you'll actually need to scroll down and get into your computer area so that you can click on your flash drive. And remember, if you have no idea where you are in the file system, look up here in the address bar, and that will help you. Remember that the libraries are 999 times out of 1,000, those are going to be on the hard drive. For our purposes, those are always on the hard drive. So if you're looking to get into your flash drive, you don't want to be in libraries. Okay, this shows the choose file to upload dialog box after we've scrolled down, gotten into the computer area. We may have had to expand the computer here to see all the drives that were under computer, and you can't see it too terribly well, but we've clicked on the Lexar, which that's the flash drive on this particular computer. Lexar is the brand name. The name of the flash drive will vary. The letter of the flash drive may vary too. On campus, it's almost always going to be assigned an E, but on another computer it could be assigned some other letter. Again, you look up into the address bar to see where you are. We're in the computer area. We're on this flash drive. We can tell that because the Lexar, the letter E, tells you that it's on the flash drive. And at this point, we want to identify, pick out the particular file that it is that we want to attach. And then once we've done that, we'll click open. You'll see that in the next screen. Now, the file to be attached is this Work 0900 journal. So the student has highlighted that, clicked it with her mouse, the Work 0900 journal, and And as soon as you can also see that the file name, once you've selected the file name should show up down here too. And then you click open, or press the return key. Open, it's not the best terminology, open, but you're not really opening it, you're attaching it, but that's what Windows use, so we have to deal with that. Well, here we see that we've had some success. Okay, this was not here before. When you attach a file or files, you see them listed in the email pane here, on the email form. It'll be listed under your subject. Uh, if you were concerned that maybe you might have put in the wrong file by mistake, you could click preview and get a look at it. It should open up in a new window so you can make sure that you actually attach the file you meant to. If you suddenly realize that this isn't the file I wanted to attach at all, you can go ahead and click the little X and make it go away. You can also, if you need to repeat the process and add more files, you just go up and hit insert again. You can send quite a few emails at a time, or quite a few attachments with one email, and I actually had an instructor send me an email with 27 attachments once. Wow, I don't really recommend that. It was kind of an emergency though. Now at this point, we're looking at the email form. We've got it's filled in with the two. The student has copied herself, carbon copied herself. She's got a good subject in here. She's got the file attached. She's signed it, and the only thing left to do is to go ahead and hit send. Now, if you have CC'd yourself on an email, it should come back to you within about 5 minutes. And actually, if you're on campus, I've seen them come back within 2 or 3 seconds. And in that case, you'll know, that it actually went out. It didn't get stuck in your drafts folder or in your outbox or goodness knows where else it could have gone. And you'll, it's a good way to assure yourself that what went out, that your email actually did go out and that you attached what you intended to attach.
Well, that's it for the email for Metro Students series. I hope you found this helpful. Please do practice your email skills, especially attaching those files. And if you are a Metro student, remember the college requires you to check your student email at least once a week. They don't want to hear, well, I didn't check my email, so I didn't hear about it. That's also going to be true on the job or any other organization you're involved with. You always want to keep yourself informed. If you need links to more information, you can Google, or if you visit my website at cbadolf.com, I've got some links on there to information about the Office 365 email system. And so good luck, and thanks for listening.